Moral of the story is, good women in committed relationships don't have guy friends, especially ones that they hang out with alone. Women that would make good wives don't think it's proper for a woman in a committed relationship to hang out with or foster relationships with other men. The women who don't approve of this behavior are out there, but in today's era they definitely are the minority. When they try to say he's just a friend, it's bullshit. Either he's trying to fuck her or she's trying to fuck him, it's one or the other, or in some cases both. Period. Even when I was really young and didn't know anything, I heard a lot of blue-pilled beta guys essentially say the following: my wife, God bless her, she's just the sweetest and nicest thing, but she's just completely unaware that all these guy friends that she keeps around are only around her because they just want to have sex with her. Even back then I knew these married guys were retarded. Women have a need to feel desired by men. Having men who want to have sex with her around her makes her feel better about herself and validates her. She feeds on that. These women that do this know damn well that these guy friends want to get in her pants. In fact, if these guys didn't want to get in her pants, it would actually be less likely that she'd keep them around. As in that situation, men who don't want to fuck her would likely serve less utility value to her. The reason why she has these men in her life is because she's keeping the bullpen warm, in case she decides to ditch her current man. Those male friends that she has, who are just friends, are your replacements in waiting. They are prospects that she is in the process of grooming, to see if they will become viable alternatives to you. Go ask your grandparents if they think it's proper for married women to have male friends she goes out with or spends time alone with. People from previous eras did not think that was right. In previous eras, guys were less likely to be kooks, so they didn't let this shit happen. Studies have shown that men in previous eras had higher testosterone. So when they encountered women like this, they disengaged. Thus, in order to better compete with each other, women suppressed this instinct and didn't do this as much. The reason why women have these guy friends is because they are instinctively making themselves prepared to play monkey bars. Most women aren't even consciously aware that this is their intention, but it is. In other words, most women need to be in a relationship and are scared to death of being alone. There are evolutionary reasons for this. In previous eras, a woman who was not with a man at her side to protect and provide for her lacked security. She was much more vulnerable to be attacked by other men, or wild animals, and she was much more likely to go hungry and lack warmth and shelter. This is why women instinctively play monkey bars. They generally won't let go of the last guy until they have a firm grip on the next guy, because she feels less secure inherently when she doesn't have a man. That's why all these old spinsters are so miserable, no matter how well they are doing in their career or how many friends they have. When she says he's just a friend, she's lying. Her male friends are backup plans. Her male friends are plans B and C and D. And she is nurturing those friendships for a reason. Also, in many cases, these male friends of hers are providing her with some form of utility that her main guy doesn't. In other words, perhaps her friend's own buddy listens to her shit more than her man does, perhaps her other buddy is better in bed than her present man, perhaps the guy at work helps her do her job, etc., etc. Most women these days do this and play these games. In essence, the women that do this are trying to build a soft harem of men who will service her on various different fronts, be it emotional, physical, psychological, or mental. In order to optimize her hypergamy, she's keeping these guys around so she can settle down with the winner who emerges once the dust settles and the smoke clears. In other words, her man isn't a sure thing in her eyes. At best, he's merely her best perceived option at this moment. By keeping these other guys around and fostering those relationships, she's in a better position to get the pick of the litter. In other words, if Billy from the office becomes district manager and gets in better shape, she will have a better chance of being able to jump to, or rather onto Billy if her present man is stagnating by comparison, if she has kept that option open by going for coffee with him occasionally and flirting with him at work. With women, you need to understand one simple thing. From my experience and others I've talked to, at least 70% of the time when a woman breaks up with a man, there is another man in the picture already by this point who she is already seeing and most likely fucking, or at least is already intimate with, i.e. they are kissing, cuddling, etc. If you're still dating and are in a relationship with women like these, and believe me, this is how the majority of modern women conduct themselves in long-term relationships and even in their marriages, here's how to deal with them. Once you see the red flags, i.e. she's going for coffee with her male friends, she's hanging out alone with her male friends, or she's talking to male friends and talking about her male friends. When you see these red flags in others, don't try to control her. Don't tell her that she has to stop this if she wants to be with you. Here's why. 1. If you tell her this, then she'll just tell everyone that you're controlling and try to make you out to be the bad guy. 2. Even if she agrees to your demand and severs the friendships, know that this will only be temporary. At a later point in the relationship, once she has more leverage and control over the man, she will start spending time with these men, or others once again. Making a woman change is a fool's errand. At best, she will change momentarily and superficially just to please the man and better sink her hooks into him. But once those hooks are sunk deeper, she will revert back to her base behavior. Remember this, because it applies in a general sense to female behavior as well. The only thing you can do at this point is to end the relationship. Better yet, end it in a vague way. In other words, say something like, "My feelings for you just aren't like they once were," or "I'm not in love with you anymore." It's better to not even tell her the real reason. Let her figure it out herself when she's old and alone. There's nothing that makes a woman more wet than the willingness and readiness of a man to disengage and detach from her. It communicates through action that the man values himself and won't just settle for anything. Do it by text. That way you'll have records of the breakup in case she tries to Me Too you or tell people that she ended it with you. The moral of the story is, when she says he's just a friend, he's not. She's unsure of her man's viability in the long term and is grooming his replacements. Don't put up with it, and for God's sake do not commit to these women long term. Men who value themselves will pump and dump women like this, or not even bother with them at all once they see the red flags. And trust me, they will show the red flags early in a lot of cases. Most of the time they'll show you within a few months. Good, strong-willed men will never commit to women like this, because by playing these games with her man, she has in effect told him that she was never truly committed to him from the get-go. If you like my content, bang the bell, like, comment, subscribe.